afternoon, Jack. Thank you so much for inviting me to talk a little bit about the wonderful experience we had with Total Solutions Group. And I just wanted to share with the audience a little bit about what the experience has been for our company. So I am Dr. Margaret Larkins Pettigrew. I am the Senior Vice President and Chief Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Officer, covering the Allegheny Health Network and Highmark enterprise. We have about 47,000 employees, and we take care of about 7 million people. The objective of bringing you in, Jack, of course, was because we as an institute, and we have an institute called the Enterprise Equitable Health Institute, which really deals with diversity, equity, inclusion across the entire system. I'm the first diversity officer, and we really wanted to make sure that we aligned what we were doing with the vision and the philosophy of the organization. And it is a big job. We have a significantly large team compared to other D&I organizations, but we really wanted to make sure that we were aligning not only with the culture of the organization, really thinking about how we would make sure we align with the business aspects of the organization, and then how we as an enterprise within the enterprise really was thinking about developing how we would do our job in the most optimal way. And so we, of course, met, and we were very, very much excited about what you and your organization has to offer. And that you did not disappoint. So so that was the initial thing to say, okay, we need help. We need to really think about who we are, what do we want to do as far as making a difference in the lives of not only our employees, our community, really making sure that we're communicating with our leaders, but to make sure that we were aligned with the work that was asked of us to do. And so, so basically, what you did is that you came in, and I think the first thing that made us feel very comfortable, gave us a space, a psychological safety space, in a place where we could really talk about not only how we as individuals and professionals were focused on our vision and objectives, but how we could really work as a group in order to carve out what we saw as our 5 goals, really turning them into a line with the organization. So you remember our 5 goals were, number 1, to be really top in this space as far as health equity, to really think out the box, but also to build the box bigger. We really wanted to make sure that we were an academic contributor as well, being a part of a large organization that's affiliated primarily with Drexel University. Wanted to make sure we were thinking about this whole area of workforce diversity. What did that mean? And we found out through you that it really meant a significant culture change. But also, how were we positioned to make sure that we were building a culture of inclusivity? And I think the biggest one that I think affected all of us and allowed us to walk away with higher expectations and the ability to think strategically about how we really wanted to do the work we're doing is a space of accountability. And we have enjoyed so much of you coming into our space and first building relationships. The time you took to really find out who we were as an organization, who we are as individuals and people who were dedicated to the space, and then how we could really come together and work toward the common goal, which was to line ourselves and our work with the organization, making sure that we understood the business of the organization, but not only doing our work in the space of diversity, equity, inclusion because it's the right thing to do, but to really make sure that we identified ourselves and branded ourselves as the value differentiators as it related to a large organization, large market share, that we made a difference in that market share by being the value differentiators in our space. And so what we found is that we came together as a pretty powerful group. We didn't hold back. They talk about creating a speak up culture. We had no problem with that. And we really had the opportunity to carve out who we were, what was our real commitment to this space, and how well we could then work together strategically in a way to make sure that we were completely aligned with the organization, but developing sustainable programs that would make a difference in the long run, knowing that this is not a sprint, but a significant marathon that we needed to make sure that we were involved in for the long haul. Talked about sustainability, really peeling that onion and trying to understand that this is a major culture change for our organization, and how do we do that with tact and strategy that didn't turn people off, that really focused on how we get the work done, but the work done that will ultimately affect the lives of all the people we serve, the communities we serve, our employees, etc. So with that said, as I hope that anyone who's listening to this understands the value of bringing in a Total Solutions Group and what you have done and what you have meant to our organization, and how we have, since our last meeting, continued to grow and continue to see so much growth across our enterprise. And that people who hear me understand that every organization is different. You took the time to understand who we were and who we continue to be, but that you brought to us a significant amount of hope because there's such intention and investment in what we want to do here at Highmark AHN. So with that, I hope that you move on to some greater spaces, but we intend to be very, very closely connected to you from now on, because we saw you as not only a coach, as a supporter, one of our biggest fans, and we continue to feel that way about your group. So thank you so much for coming in and making us part of this experience that you're having as you talk to other folks across the country. And we wish you best. Thank you so much.